Good morning. Decided to do my loot routine a little bit different today. Every day is the same. It's always changing, right? I was trying to pick oneself up out of bed. One of the weird things about me that I find comical thinking about the past is how internally somehow I was so trained, but not trained, and how everything had to go backwards to come forwards. And I don't know. I hope we'll get there someday. The up until, for, I mean, as far as I can remember, for the most part, whenever the alarm would go off in the morning, my feet would be on the floor, and I'd be in a shower before I had the first thought. Until I was, me and my first wife were living in our first place together, and she would always hit the snooze button like 5 times, whether she had somewhere to go in the morning or not. And I thought that was retarded. I didn't get it. I still don't get it, really. If you don't have anywhere to go, why you set an alarm? If you do have somewhere to go, wasn't that something to look forward to? Usually. I mean, even if it was work, like, I don't know. And then somehow, after some time, eventually, well, I guess more recently, I'll hit the alarm would go off on the phone. When it was on the alarm clock, I never used a snooze. But on the phone, well, it's a button. It's stop or snooze. So I have to snooze. I don't want to get up, not knowing where I'm going, unless it's just to go nowhere and to make no money and to sit somewhere and not be able to concentrate on it and not be able to accomplish anything. But for some reason, it's always, I think about things that everyone else says. But the weirdest thing is, whenever I text and post, always comes back to me. And my own words cut me rather than build me up. Or they just keep like nails in my head. I guess it's kind of like that same thing. I'm so fast, maybe, that I'm slow. It's like the crack of the whip. And then, but when you crack the whip, like it doesn't just go straight, it's got this zigzag like lightning and a pow. But all I got is pow. And then it comes back shh. And then I gotta fucking handle that shit. So the thought I was having is about this the universal mother, right? And and yeah, we all have one mother, right? The one we came out of, the one we're walking on, the earth, the one in the sky. But she's got so many kids, she forgets us. Or she focuses so much on us, then we become fucking retarded because she's like babying us everywhere we go. Like, don't get him sick. Don't get him sick. And then you grow up, and then the kids like that a lot of times end up with all these fucking problems. Oh my God. Oh. Be right back. Cats. Every day they want to knock something down. And be like, well, I didn't know. Just like a kid. What are you gonna do? You can't beat them. That ain't gonna help. They're so smart or stupid. Hey, just like people, right? So yeah, the universal mother. Which I think is why that Durga Maya, who was the original and probably the oldest religion on earth. Who knows? Oldest current as God, originally. The oldest one, yeah, it's the night sky, it's the earth. It's the one woman it came out of. And then they had to be like, you think about it a long time. You're like, it makes sense why they turned it around. They had to cut her up into all the other gods. Because then they couldn't just be like, oh yeah, it's the sun. It's her man. It's her partner. It's Vishnu. It's Jesus. It's just the one. Well, if everyone's the one and everyone's her and nobody's her. And so yeah, the Virgin Mary. We cut that bitch up into fucking all these fucking pieces because she's a fucking scary motherfucking monster, bitch. Yeah, bitch. But look what she did to everybody. Every single animal from the day it's born to the day it dies in the wilderness is covered in things eating it. How fucking cruel could God be? And every time we have a perfect creation, we're like, look, Mom, look what I made you. Kind of thing. And she just... or maybe we're her perfect creation. And then everybody's like, gets envious and then kills that one. Has to do with the envy and jealousy and whatever there is in people. And nature. And nature's so fucking cruel. At the same time, it's so fucking weird, isn't it? That a baby, you could leave a naked baby on a stump in the forest for 24 hours and come back and might find that baby still there. But you could open the door for 5 minutes and let your cat sit in the front yard and everybody in the whole fucking town knows who you are and knows who that cat is, and somebody could walk up and kill that cat and nobody knows a fucking thing. That sometimes an animal, the mother will eat all of her own babies. Or the dad will. Just because it's competition. Or this mating season. And so many frogs will try to mate with one female frog that they all drown and die. And a million years later, they'll find a mass of frogs fossilized. They got from one sexual act. That's a thing in South America that they found. or the fossilized thing where I don't remember the dinosaur. I think it's a special kind of sloth. Not that it matters, but if like animals congregate wherever there's water, right? And one of the weird things about why fossilized animals would be found in groups would be that, well, nature's cruel, you know. Okay, it rains, there's water everywhere, everyone's good. And then all of a sudden, it's a drought for so long, so all the water just goes together. And so you have all these giant, monstrous animals, right? And, um, and they'd all congregate into the same pool, you know. But then as the pool shrinks and shrinks, you know what happens to water when that happens? It gets nasty, especially if everybody's living in it like a swamp. And they found like 100 of the same animal fossilized, or maybe it was more than 100 in a really small area on top of like 100 feet of dung, like 400 million metric tons of poo underneath of them, and then them, and then whatever piled on afterwards once it shrunk and just covered them in, and nothing ate them or whatever. They fossilized that way because of the concentrated poison of all their waste. Nature's fucking cruel. And so there's the dark side of the universal mother. And why all the knowledge is split up in the world, but at the same time, even once you put it all together, it still comes back down to, well, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to find someone to carry on my genes, even if she bites my head off and kills me as soon as I'm done with the act? And the weird thing about Black Widows is how, I think it's Black Widows, after she has babies, then she just lets them eat her to death. And that's fair. If she freaking ate him after he impregnates her, and then she deserves to be eaten by all the babies. So that's a goddamn good, sick God joke, isn't it? So love is everything. And love comes from a French word meaning zero. It's that passion, that drive, or it's that thing where you be surrounded by a million people and then just one person in the crowd just magnetizes. You're like, that's so much. It just pulls you in like a siren. You don't know. She could be married and have 5 kids and think she's happy and content and everything, and everything's good. And then the possibility and the scary thing about it is then she could see somebody in the crowd and be like, oh my God, I'd give everything up just for that one. So then what's love, right? That's scary. That's terribly scary. That's why I think marriage, the concept behind it, really takes everyone. Trying to tear it apart and put it together at the same time as ultimately it has to do with 2 people that have enough experience to know this is it. I'd take a bullet for you, and I'm not taking no fucking bullets because I want to be here. And you take a bullet for me, and you ain't taking no fucking bullets because I need you and you need me, and we don't need each other, but it's decided. The world's too fucking cruel. We're locking eyes, and we're not fucking leaving, and we don't. That's not a threat, and nobody's got to make the threat. It's just the heart's on that cross, and it ain't on a cross. And I think it takes having experienced enough life to really get to that point. I mean, people really need to be in their 30s and 40s and have gone through enough hardships and started over enough times to really see the cycle of life. To be ancient and still young. And never let your heart go cold at the same time as had all the options. And it really come down to what's an option, right? There's got to be something that drives a person every day. And if it isn't that concept of the intrinsic value of what love is, and a person that can hold it with you, and the staff of power is hollow, and so it is trust. It's not trust. It is love. It's not love. It's something that it's a bond, like the concept of a mother to a child. Between two that it's just one. It's none. There's no way to put a finger on it or a name or a title. It's not a decision or a choice, and it has to be. It's beyond. That's the only way I could. There's no way a word could really fit it. It's just in the other person's eyes. And no matter what the changes of mind and insecurities or, since the mind and the body can't ever balance. And sometimes, she get pissed off for no reason because somebody spilt a cup on the floor like Tigger just did. At least it was just water. Or we all lose our heads sometimes. And we lose track of our bodies, but unless we got somebody to keep track of it and help us, especially in a partnership, then, what really is there? It's so simple. It's beyond words. It's so complex. You can look at all the cultures, all the names, all the symbols. You could take everything the world's ever been and ever will be. And it really comes down to the basic concept of what I'm trying to say here.